All right, welcome everyone to the Bob and John Sports Hour. And on today's show, we're going to talk about crybaby LeBron James. We got Lakers finishing the season in the bottom 10 in offense and defense efficiency, finishing the first 2022-21 season at what was their record? 33-49. Is that? I got to look that up though. Is that really their worst record? Can't be their worst record ever though.
I don't think it's the worst record ever, but it's bad.
It's bad. It's bad. It's
Yeah,
bad.
not for the Lakers. I don't think it's the worst either.
Yeah, for the Lakers not to finish. I mean, I'd have to think back a long ways. I'm sure Bob probably know the date, but the last time they finished at the bottom in their division it's probably been a while.
And for me, I don't think I've ever known a season where they haven't made the playoffs.
Yeah.
This might be the first that I can remember. This is probably the first time I ever seen the Lakers not make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's been a while. I can't remember the last time they weren't in the playoffs.
Me neither.
Yeah, so this is a big. They also fired their coach. They said bye-bye to Frank Vogel. How do you say his name? Vogel?
Vogel. It's funny because I was watching one of the talk shows on TV, and it might have been The Herd. And I think it was either them, well, anyway, whoever it was, they were talking about that. How do you fix this problem that the Lakers have? And he was trying to figure out reasons, and he was saying something about you don't fix it by firing the coach, you fix it by changing the parts.
Yeah.
And I'm really surprised now you just said the Vogel got fired because from listening to the talk shows, they were all saying like you shouldn't fire Vogel. You should like maybe obviously LeBron James is going to stay there. You're not going to get rid of him.
Yeah.
And you should get
He
rid
won
of
him a
him.
championship. He won him a championship. This is the same guy that won him a championship.
It was a Mickey Mouse championship in the bubble.
Yeah, it was
season.
a Mickey Mouse championship, but they still won a championship with the guy.
That's true.
But
they were, so they were saying that you shouldn't fire Vogel. You're not going to get rid of LeBron. You're definitely going to should get rid of Westbrook, and Anthony. You can keep him, but the problem with him is, like we all know, he can't stay healthy a full season to be productive. Yeah. And they were also saying that what they should do with Anthony Davis, instead of having him play this forward crap where he's top of the key, trying to shoot threes.
Yeah.
Just stay down low. You're the rebounder. You're the block shot. Stay down low and do your job there. Let the rest of the guys worry about their jobs. And that's how you kind of fix the problem that they have.
Yeah. There was an article they had written about how they are going to change the way they approach LeBron James with decisions on player personnel for the team. Mm-hmm. And I like how he tried to play it off. I guess the reporter went up to him and asked him, are you going to be more hands-on on some decisions and coaching and stuff like that? And LeBron quickly went and told him, he goes, I have nothing to do with that. I'm not concerned with that. That's the upper office. They may come to me and ask my opinion, and whatever my opinion is worth, bullshit. Yeah. We all know, Bob. We all know he's up there. He's probably got his he probably has an office right next to the office of the coach and the GM.
Right next to the owners.
Yeah. And, because I mean, it's obvious he wanted Anthony. He wanted Anthony there. That was his push.
And he wanted when he couldn't get
Westbrook.
Yeah.
Right. When he couldn't get Kyrie Irving, I believe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then he changed to Westbrook.
Yeah. I think too that I was reading as well is I think this is the first time it was the first time that they like the starting five played less time together ever in the history of the Lakers and in basketball too. I think it was the lowest number of the starting five playing together actually as a unit during a game
for the whole season.
So I mean that makes a difference. I mean, I don't know. We all know. We all talk about how how sometimes you can't have that many superstars on one team. It's just and then sometimes you can, but it depends on the attitude of that superstar. And I think with that team, I don't know, those guys just don't seem to want to work together. What do you guys think?
Well, for me, what it was kind of funny was that I don't know if it was some of the when I was watching the Lakers play for it. I don't know if it was some of the commentators again, but they were talking about that this year LeBron played the most as a distributor, as a help having his teammates, the support of his teammates, where he would distribute the ball to them and let them take the shots, let them drive, let them be more active in the game. And I find that bullshit.
Yeah.
Because every time I watched him, LeBron always had to have the ball at the top of the key. He always had to have everybody, get away.
Spread
and
out.
He drove to the hoop, spread out, and he drove to the hoop, and he either dunked the ball or he got fouled. And most of the fouls that he got called were bullshit calls that he instigated, that he caused, but yet they called it on the other player because he's LeBron. And I don't see him being a distributor, especially the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
He's never a distributor, man. He just give me the ball and let me take over.
Yeah. What do you think, Bob?
Well, I mean, I think that what Andre says is true. It's just like, I don't think you can have a team full of a bunch of egos who everybody wants the ball. See, the Lakers tried that before with when they got Karl Malone and Gary Payton to go with Kobe and Shaq, and they lost in the finals to the Pistons.
Yeah.
It's not a good mix. You gotta have your two superstars maybe and your role players, but everybody knows everyone knows their role. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The bench makes a difference too. Is having some guys on
make a difference, right?
Yeah. I mean, James, he finished the season, I think, with 30.3. Yeah, it's 30.3. I love this. This is a clip from the article. James, who finished the season averaging 30.3 points, but was eligible for the league scoring title because he needed to play at least 2 more games to qualify, said he had no intention of playing those games after LA was out of the playoff race. Dude, really?
There's your team player, right? There's your team player.
I get it. Okay. I'm just going to take these 2 games off because we're done. Right. That's going to make a difference for your recovery time for next season. What are you trying to do there?
Yeah. What if management took 2 days off of his paycheck because he didn't feel like playing?
There you go.
Exactly.
Thank you. Yeah, there you go. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do, Bob? If you're the GM, what do you do? Do you say fuck you?
If I'm the GM, I'm getting rid of Carmelo Anthony. I'm getting rid of Westbrook. Yeah. I'm calling Cleveland, going, hey, I'll pay half his salary if you guys want him back.
You want him back?
Send LeBron's ass back to Cleveland.
Yeah. Right. Do you force? As a GM, you're the GM of the Lakers. You got 2 games left. Do you make him play? Like, fuck you, you're
Absolutely.
Playing, bud.
Yeah. He's making $50 million. He's playing.
This is your job.
What if he's got a broken leg?
Yeah.
Hey, if you and I decided to take 2 days off work, will we get just for no reason?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, just go, you know what? I made too much money this year, so I think I'm going to take these 2 days off.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because when I was watching some of the games, you could see LeBron just sitting on the bench, looking so disgusted and so pissed off that even when the game was over, instead of, congratulating the players or the team, he just went right through the dugout into the locker room or wherever he went.
Yeah.
That's not a team. That's not a team member.
Well, some people say it's the 19 years of the league that's in him. That's he's done. He's tired. I mean, if you are,
I get it. Retire. If you're
Yeah.
done,
Let me ask you a question,
Yeah.
okay? Because we're all old enough, we can think way back.
Yeah.
How many games Michael Jordan take off?
Dude, that
How
guy
many games
played
Larry
with
Bird take
yeah,
off?
yeah,
How many
nuns.
games Magic Johnson take off? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
right.
okay? All the greats. How
Yeah,
many days they take off?
none. Fucking,
None.
we all
Well,
know the
I can,
story of Michael.
yeah, I
104
can,
temperature, put up
yeah, and
fucking 100.
I can think of Larry Bird taking off maybe a couple of days, but he had a severe back
He
problem, the
did.
back
Yeah,
spasm,
he
He
had some
did.
back
and you
issues.
could see him laying on the ground while the trainers are trying to work on his back.
Yeah,
So that I
But
can
he's still out
understand.
there playing.
Yeah, but just to say, hey,
yeah.
oh, we don't got a chance to make the
Yeah.
playoffs, so forget it.
Yeah, I mean that's what the message that you're not only the message that you're sending to your teammates, but how about that kid's dad? How about that kid's dad who's only got tickets for the only for that game, and it's that kid's
Right.
first time there, and he's not going to see LeBron play, and he's going to see
Right.
LeBron sitting on the fucking bench. How about that? How about that fan? How about that first
Right.
timer? That
But also though, doesn't that send a message to the other kids, like
Yeah.
in college or high school?
Yeah, I don't have
Well,
to
my
play.
team's not going to make the playoffs, so I don't need to play.
Yeah,
Doesn't that send a message to them
yeah,
that or like if you take steroids, you're going to be able to hit 50 home runs?
yeah. No, it's because we all know what happens. Okay, the Lakers are out of it. Everybody knows that. They start selling tickets. Who wants to go to those last two games when they know they're not in there? So this is a lot of times those tickets get sold to people that may be their first time ever
Exactly.
being in Inglewood and seeing the Lakers play. So you're shitting on those guys. So it's terrible. I mean, it just seems like every time I look on there, it's just like he's doing something that you just shake your head and you're just like, really? Why?
Yeah,
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
It's just like preseason tickets to the Rams or the Niners or Detroit or whatever.
Hey, don't talk no shit about the Rams, boy.
The season ticket
Well,
holders.
yeah, I mean that's the biggest farce though, because they charge you regular season prices
Yeah,
exactly
for preseason games,
that
and
you
you
don't
don't
even.
get to see the people you want to see play.
yeah, yeah,
Nope.
yeah.
So and again, instead of offering it to us,
Right.
why don't we have the choice not to buy them, and they could sell those tickets for half the cost
Give me 2 minutes.
for two people that can't make
Yeah.
that don't have season tickets. I mean, it's. But you're right though. LeBron always does something stupid that just makes you say, "Why are we fucking putting up with this?"
Yeah, yeah. It just seems like every other day there's something he's done on Twitter. There's something he's done on the bench. There's something he did at the end of a game. Something he said at the end of a game. Something he said, when he was out running around. It just seems like it's like it just almost feels like he's trying to find a way to stay relevant. You know what I mean? To stay in the news, stay in the feed,
Right.
stay in people's minds, making sure people are always talking about
Talking
him.
about him.
Yeah, and it's sad because I think he's forgotten. I think he has forgotten what the league has done for him and what the league has brought to him as far as his life has changed. He's not that. He's a multi-millionaire who gets to now pick and choose where he wants to play, pick and choose what he wants to do, when he wants to do, what players need to be around him. And obviously we all know this team here that's been put together was pretty much put together by him. I'm sure he was in the ear of their GM and the coach. Is like, hey, you know what? We should go after, Westbrook. We should go after Anthony. These are guys I want to play with.
I think from what I heard was something about that. I think he was trying to get Durant to go to LA and play with them, but he couldn't get Durant, so then he took Anthony Davis.
Yeah. Now I'm sure before we get off of LeBron James, but I'm sure you saw that LeBron James was saying that he would love to play with the Warriors.
Oh, please.
Did you get a chance to see that?
I did not, and I hope I don't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. There's a picture of him saying how bad he would love to play with the Warriors and play with what's his name?
Curry and
Yeah, Curry.
Clay.
Yeah. That was his tweet. Like, oh, this is, and like everybody just attacked it on CBS's thread on Facebook. They're like, oh, hell no. No. We don't want you. We don't want you
Did
in
you hear what
Oakland.
Curry said?
We don't need cancer anymore. We
Yeah.
had enough of cancers.
Did you hear what Curry said?
What did Curry end up saying?
He says, "No, I'm good."
Yeah, good for him. Good for him.
What did he say? What did he say?
He said, no, I'm good.
He said, "No, I'm good."
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
Everybody knows he's a cancer, and
Yeah.
to have him on that team, that let's be honest, that team plays together, man. That team plays together,
Right.
and bringing in somebody like LeBron James would just destroy that whole nucleus.
And you know what was funny is when I was watching the Lakers. I don't know if it was against the Warriors just a couple of days ago. I think it was against
Yeah,
the Warriors.
that's what he tweeted it after that game.
Yeah.
The Lakers themselves, those subs that were playing, actually played better together as a unit than when LeBron, Anthony, and Westbrook were in there. And then they put in Carl Anthony. Is that his name?
Yeah.
They put him in, and he was shooting some threes. But those five subs played much better. And I was really surprised how well they played, because they gave the Warriors a run for their money in that game,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because those guys are playing for jobs.
Playing
Right,
for
that's
jobs,
true.
man. They're playing to move along that
Westbrook,
bench.
Carmelo Anthony, LeBron.
Yeah.
They're not playing for jobs. They got jobs.
They got their jobs.
Right.
They're moving along that bench, Andre. They're trying to move over to the other end of the bench.
Yep. It was funny because I was talking with a friend of mine yesterday, and we were talking about the Warriors, how good they are, and da-da-da. And he goes, in a couple of years, could you imagine having Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green come off the bench and be the spark plugs in, because they won't be the starters in a couple of years.
Yeah.
They'll be a little old, they can't run as much, but they could be on the bench and come off the bench and be the spark plug again. Could you? And we're going, and I was just saying, that sounds really cool, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's the current NBA. That's how the NBA is.
Yeah, Draymond Green, I don't know why the Warriors haven't, and I'm glad they haven't, because he doesn't score, but he does a lot of other things on the team.
Mm-hmm.
But he also causes a lot of shit on your team by trash talking and getting technicals all the time, and I'm surprised that the Warriors haven't said something to him about it, or maybe you have to sit out 20 games the next time you get a technical or some shit like that. Because sometimes he causes the team to be off guard for a while.
Yeah. All right. Bob and Andre, would you pay $25,000 for a burger at a Atlanta Braves game?
I would not. I don't need a ring that bad.
You don't need that ring, Bob. You don't want that Atlanta Braves ring.
I wouldn't pay $25,000 if it was the Dodgers.
But Bob, let's break this burger
Would it
down.
be a World Series ring?
You get a ring. You get the ring. You get a ring.
But is it a World Series ring?
Yeah, it's a replica of the World Series ring.
Oh, a replica. Minka.
Yeah, it's a Minka, all right.
Well, I mean, look, here's the whole deal. You buy a burger, they give you the ring. How the hell are you going to get out of the stadium without getting robbed?
In Atlanta, of all places. All right, here.
Well, I'm not worried about Atlanta. I mean, the Dodgers, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's some sketchy people that go to them games.
Yeah,
that's a good point. How are you going to save your life?
Yeah,
how are you going to get the ring out?
Bobby Britt brought up a good question. He says you're sitting there eating that burger, and all of a sudden the fly ball's coming your way. Do you throw that? Do you throw the $25,000 burger on the ground to grab the fly ball, or you just let the fly ball go by?
No, dude. Burger one hand, ball in the other. Come on,
dude.
Man.
This burger's too big to put in one hand, Bob.
So where's
the ring?
Where's the ring? In the middle of the burger, or?
No, I hope it's not in the burger. That could get really ugly. Yeah, it's. Let's see here. What is in on? Yeah. This thing has got it's got everything on it. It comes with toasted Irish butter, bun, pan-fried egg, golden leaf wrapped Hudson Valley forage grass grain cold water lobster tail. It's got tomatoes, garden fresh lettuce. It's got Tillamook cheddar cheese on it.
Oh, Tillamook, huh?
Yeah, and toffee. It's got some truffles on it as well. So yeah, I mean, it's got some shit on there, and who
puts a lobster tail on a burger?
Who puts a?
Yeah.
I still don't understand. Yeah, I still don't understand the fried egg on the burger. I get it.
No, fried egg on a burger is good.
Yeah, I know.
I've had a burger with fried egg. It's good.
Yeah,
I'm sketchy about doing that. Eating I watch these food channels, like best places I eat, best, and they got a hamburger piled with French fries and all bacon and all this shit. And then to top it off, they put an egg on top of it.
Fried egg.
And then when you bite, all the gooey comes out. I go, I'm sorry. I don't know if I could do that. And I don't know if I could do it with just give me a plain burger with cheese and mushrooms.
Yeah,
that's beef for me,
I'm kind of curious to see. I mean, do you think they sell any of these? I mean, it's like a spontaneous thing. I guess if you want the ring,
they're gonna sell them. Trust me.
Yeah, you know who's gonna buy them is obviously the people in the luxury boxes behind the glass.
God,
the regular guy sitting on his
the guy that's sitting on the $10 fucking bleacher seat is not buying the $25,000 burger.
No. The guy sitting in the upper deck ain't buying that burger either.
Yeah, he's waiting. He's coming in on Wednesday when they have like 2-for-1 fucking deals on
hot dog.
A couple of years ago, Maureen and I, we did a cruise, and one of our stops was Copenhagen.
Yeah.
And, we're walking around the town, trying to find their food.
Yeah.
Instead of, our food. But we went to this one restaurant and they had a hamburger and I forgot how much it was. It was 250. I think it was 250 the money of their money, their own money.
Yeah.
But when you broke it down and you did the exchange from their money to the American dollar, it was $25 for the hamburger.
Yeah.
And I thought that was too much. Now we got 150 or 25,000. Yeah.
I've had a $25 burger and I wasn't that like, wow, I just ate a $25 burger. I wasn't. There was nothing really special about it.
It's just a piece of meat.
I'm telling you right now.
Well, it's what kind of. Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
The pulled pork bacon burger at Twisted Pig for $16.
Yeah,
that's good shit right there.
That's a good burger.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I don't even know how to describe it. She, he. Lia Thomas is back in the news.
Lia Thomas.
Lia Thomas is back in the news. It sounds like I think it sounds like that the women are done. The women of and I didn't realize that I think we talked about this last time. I didn't understand. I guess it's both swimming. The swimmers are also part of the diving team. I guess I didn't realize that. I didn't know how that all works. So it's the swimming team, diving team. I guess some of the swimmers are actually divers too. So, but that's the whole unit. A bunch of them are sending out letters to the NCAA and also sending out letters to the Olympics as well, preparing them as well for what's coming. I think they're seeing what's happening, and this movement is going to move into the Olympics, and I think that's where records are really going to get broken, and it's just going to set a bad tone for women's sports. I mean,
absolutely.
When you start, and I get the college part. The college part is sad as well too, but when you start getting into the Olympics, that's there. I mean, that's big time now. I mean, that's the dreams and hopes of that 11-year-old girl who's going to swimming camp, for 4 days a week, swimming for 3-4 hours a day, hoping
for the last 6 years.
Yeah. Hoping that, she gets an opportunity someday to dive for the U.S. Olympics team or swim for the U.S. Olympics team. And I think a lot of these girls are women. Let's say women because there are women now. are getting a little fed up with it. And Bob made a good point. I had no idea he still had his stuff. To
He
me,
does.
yeah. So that made me even more furious
Still
as
had
a
his stuff?
father. He still has his stuff.
Okay, he's still got the plumbing.
He's still got.
He still got the plumbing.
He's still got his pipe.
I think I said that. Didn't I say that a little while ago? Last time that does he have his man parts or?
Yeah, he still
Yeah,
had his. Yeah, I like that. He's still got his. Yeah, he's still got his pipe. Andre, he's still got his pipe.
Well, all right. So today I saw a commercial by Adidas.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm not going to be one of these holier than thou people, but I ain't
Yeah.
buying Adidas no more.
Yeah.
It was a commercial about transgender men who are now transgender women. Let them compete in the college sports. That's fine. We're just trying to find our niche and compete with the women. Adidas had a commercial about that.
That's sad.
I'm like, no, if they can't, if
right.
they're not good enough to be in a
As a
men's
man.
game, why do you just say, okay, I identify as a woman now and I'm going to play with the girls, even though I'm bigger, faster, stronger?
Right.
Oh, no, I'm taking estrogen now.
Yeah.
It's going to take years and years and years.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
You just
for
don't
you
do
to
it
lose that
overnight.
muscle mass.
Yeah. I mean, of all people that are backing up the women, which is Jenner.
Right.
I'm sorry, that's not Jenner anymore. What is her name? Caitlyn.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah, Caitlyn.
Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce Jenner. But
Yeah.
you know, though, he knows, though,
Yeah.
because someone goes, well, I mean, he won the gold medal. Yeah, but he competed as a man.
As a man.
Right.
Men.
Right.
Right. He didn't go to the pentathlon and beat up on women. No.
Right.
He did the decathlon and he beat up on men. He was a world champion against men.
All right.
Yeah.
And if
So
he
you
would have
have-
did,
Go ahead.
if he would have did that right now as being a woman,
Yeah.
and he would go and compete as a woman, every record that's known for this pentathlon or whatever it is,
Uh-huh.
he would break every one because he's using a man's body
Yeah.
to compete as a woman, which is
Right.
not fair.
Right.
All I gotta say is, back in the day, before they tore down the Berlin Wall, some of them East German chicks and Russian chicks look like men. Okay, and I ain't gonna play around, man. Them
Right.
bitches were on something. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of those
They're
some of
picking up
those
like
women-
600, 800 pounds, dude.
Yeah.
Deadlift, dude. What the fuck?
Hey, we all know when Vanessa Williams and her sister came into the tennis league.
Yeah, Venus Williams. Yeah.
Right. And they were like this, right? I mean, they all had muscular, like it's
Right.
like those women from the East Berlin team were better shaped with muscles
Yeah.
than they were.
Yeah.
You knew those were men.
I just remember as a kid watching the 72 games, the 76 games, and then there were no 80 games in summer, but the 72, 76, that's all you saw was these big ass fucking women like swimming
Yeah.
and running and doing all this stuff. Like, and they're not on steroids? Come on,
Yeah,
people.
Time out. I got to go shave my mustache. I'll be right back.
Yeah. and now what we see is, instead of seeing these big women from them, we're seeing these little tiny dainty
Yes.
11-year-old 10-year-old from China
Right.
winning everything because they make less splashes, they can run faster, they can dive better, so now we're
Yeah.
seeing they on skates they can do
Yeah.
the same thing because they're so light. You could throw them 30 feet up in the air. When they come down, they're so light they don't fall. I mean,
Yeah, the little 14-year-old Russian girl, but you're right though. The Chinese women's diving, they're all like 11, 12, 13,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they're forced to work out 24/7 and
Yeah.
do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
That's there's no school. There's no, I mean, that's all they're doing for 10, 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they were talking about in a letter how he joined that team and took it to a top 20 program in the country. After this, also that school failed to even score a single point last year in this competition. So it's very obvious what him being on that team has helped that team become a program in the top 20 in college sports. So obviously, this is the same team, basically the same team that the year prior, like they said, they didn't even score a single point in competition. That's how bad they were. And bring in this. So you wonder, did the school do this for that reason? Is it the reason that they wanted to give transgenders an ability, an opportunity to be represented in NCAA swimming events for swimming, or was this a way for the school to say, hey, this is an opportunity for us to boost our school, bring us up in the rankings, get us to a top 20 in the country as a program? It makes me wonder after you see that. See, I didn't know that they were that bad the prior year.
I mean, I can see that point, because it now you're on the national stage.
Yeah.
But at what cost?
Yeah. Dude, all I know is, I mean, I was too young to remember, but Andre, you're not that young. I could have phrased that a little better, but you do remember the movement of the late 60s and 70s for women. You remember that, right? Yes. You remember that movement, especially you lived in San Francisco at that time. So you remember how hard those women worked to get equality and work and all this other stuff.
Right.
I mean, and then for this to happen now, all this hard work, and like Bob says, they worked hard to get Title IX, and they busted their butt to get to get representative and start having money come into these programs. And now this is just as like a slap in the face to all the women that worked so hard in the 60s and 70s to get some sort of equality for themselves and representation.
So
and now this.
Go ahead. Do you think that maybe this might deter some of the good swimmers to go to that school now because of what happened there, and they don't want to be part of that? Maybe that school gets slapped with I don't know how you would say it.
Yeah.
Where they can't have enough when you give a scholarships now, maybe
you do sanctions or you
they'll probably have
put them under penalty and stuff,
right? And if they do that to this school, these kids that instead of going to USC or going to the Boise, Idaho, or whatever, they chose to go to that school to help that school, but now they're going to get sanctioned, and now they're going to be like, okay, I can't compete for the next 2 years in swimming. So what do? Do they transfer to another school that might not take them anymore because of the slander that happened to that school and they were in it? Yeah. I personally wouldn't send my daughter to that school.
Well, number one, Penn is never going to be big on athletics. Right. Okay, if you're going to Penn, you're going to get your degree because that's 6 figures as soon as you graduate. All the good women's programs are like USC, Texas. There's a couple.
Stanford.
I think Florida's got a great girls swim team and stuff. So Penn was never on the radar of getting 5-star talent.
Yeah.
Penn is getting 2-star talent with a 4.0 GPA.
That's
because
true.
in the Ivy League schools, it's your GPA that counts before your athletic ability.
Yeah. But Penn I think it was last year or the year before, didn't they make it to the finals or to the finals of the volleyball team for women? And
I'm not sure they might have. I mean, well, I think it could have been Penn State and not Penn University.
Oh, I'm thinking of Penn State.
Yeah.
Yeah, Penn State. Yeah, Penn State. No, this is a different school. Yeah, different school.
Oh, okay.
Well, this is University of Pennsylvania in the Ivy League. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of Ivy League schools that compete on a major level in any sport except maybe hockey.
Oh yeah, well they compete against themselves
for the education.
Yeah, they compete against themselves, but their talent, like you said, Bob, their talent isn't as good as it would be from a major university.
Right. You know, though, and I think because of the political breakdown in the Ivy League schools, I don't think this dude could
Yeah.
have done that at USC or Texas or
Yeah.
Florida
No.
or any of the big schools. I think they would have laughed him out of the place. But
Right.
with a small Ivy League conference and stuff, and the political, stuff that they teach on campus now, they they think it's fair. But my only problem is, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I play a bigot on TV, but I'm not one in real life. But
What?
why do we have to cater to
Yeah.
a population that's less than 1% of the overall population in America? The trans community is less than 1% in the U.S.
Yeah. It's
But
such
they
a
want they want the other 99% of the people to conform to what they want. They should conform to what we want because we're the majority.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, one of the parts of the letters here that was in the part that's in the letter was from Virginia Tech swimmer Gregory, who argued Thompson stole her chances for advancement in the finals since she came in 17th place at a race. Which only took the first 16. So,
Uh-huh.
for him,
Ooh.
she came in at 17th place. That would piss, dude. You have no idea. I mean, I get it
Right.
though. You're 17th place, or even if you came in 16th place, it's probably not a good chance that you're going to win anything. But
No,
still,
but at
you
least
got
you
an
made it.
opportunity, a
Right.
chance to get to that level.
Right. It gives you a chance to go to the finals.
Right. And then to be taken away from you because this dude, finished, yeah, I would not, not just as an athlete, I would be upset, but I would be so upset as a parent, as a parent of my
Absolutely.
daughter. I would be, hey, and look, you have every right to be whatever you want. This is America. You want to do this to yourself, that's fine. But it doesn't mean that the world has to comply. We don't have to
Right.
comply. There's so many other things that are involved in decisions, whether someone wants to call you what you want to be called. I mean, there's people that have strict religious values. They're not going to just say he or she. They're not. They know there's two things out there. There's a male and there's a female, and that's what it's going to be. So you're either one or the other, and you can't be both. You just can't.
If he's got the plumbing, he's a male.
He's got the pipe.
Thank
He
you.
still
Thank
has the
you.
pipe.
And he's a male,
He
man.
still
Thank
has
you.
the pipe, baby. He still has the pipe. All right. Since we're talking about women, let's stick with women. The Portland Chef is opening up the first, I guess, is this the first? I gotta stop laughing. The
It's a
first
Portland
sports bra and pub that will only show women's sports on TV.
Good luck. Good luck.
Oh, I'm gonna have to edit all that out.
Are they only,
Oh yeah. Good luck. Yeah.
are they only going to
We're
let
opening on
women in?
April 10th and we'll be closing on April 12th. Okay.
Hey, I got a good idea. Why does this guy Lee Thompson or whatever his name is, why doesn't he go to the Portland Chef or whatever, wherever it is, and see if they'll let him in, so that he can say, "Yeah, I was in that swimming competition there."
Yeah,
See what happens.
It is Portland, so we'll be on there. It will be on there. Bob, all right, don't be a bigot. Does this?
Like I said, I just play one on TV.
All
I'm
right,
not one
I
to-
like the idea. I mean, it's a good idea. I mean, does it draw the average guy in there? All
No.
I'm going to
Oh,
say
you know what?
is
It probably will.
all I'm going to say is two things better be really good in that place. Number one, the beer, and number two, the food, because not your average guy is not going to go in there to go watch women's sports on 15, 25 TVs. I mean, I don't
not
know.
women's sports. Hey, no, the only sport I'm going in there for is during the Olympics is the women's beach volleyball.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, or just Brazilian beach volleyball tournament. But I was like, yeah, I want to sit at the bar in front of the big 57-inch screen right
Okay,
there.
all right. So look, I'm just going to make my point here real quick and tell you what's wrong with this whole idea
Yeah,
about the popularity of women's sports in America.
yeah.
Tonight's a big night for the WNBA.
Yeah.
Tonight's their draft.
Yep,
Anybody
tonight's
care?
their draft. I didn't even know about it until about an hour ago, actually.
Yeah, me too. Andre, do you care?
Not really, because I really don't. I mean, I'll channel surf
But hey,
watch
Bob, they're
the
probably
movie.
playing this at the bar. They're probably playing it at the bar.
That's
Yeah.
you know what? And I'm sorry, every name that they call out, I had to be like, who?
Oh,
Yeah.
what school did she
Who?
go to? What school did she go
What,
to?
really?
There'll be a couple that you'll recognize.
Oh,
You know,
sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, the only chick I really know is Paige Beckers from Connecticut
Yeah,
because I watched
Right.
a lot of her videos when she was in high school. She's good.
yeah,
Yeah,
And Ozzy Fudd, who played alongside of her.
yeah.
and
But that's about it.
the girl from is it Idaho or Illinois?
All right, let me ask you guys
Something
both.
Yeah,
I
she's
mean,
from Minnesota. Yeah.
Park, yeah.
is there enough out there to play all day?
No.
That's
Wait,
why
there
I'm
probably
just.
is.
I mean,
There,
other
there
than
probably is, but nobody watches it.
They'll
but yeah,
probably show.
I
They'll
mean,
probably
it's
show some
college stuff. I mean, but there's no what other sporting event professional level? Maybe there's some softball, professional baseball.
there's softball, professional.
You know what?
Soccer,
I take it back. I
professional.
do watch the college softball World Series
Yeah,
because them chicks can play some softball.
you're a good
Oh,
man,
man.
Bob. You're a good man.
You ever see those girls throw the ball at the pitcher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like bing, bing.
No, I'm serious. No, I
Yeah.
used to when I come over and visit my dad, he would like have he'd have like women's softball on all the time. Because when he was younger, he used to pitch fast pitch softball.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
he loved girls softball.
I mean, it's going to be a lot of college stuff. That's all I can think of. It's going to be
Yeah,
a
it'll be
lot of
mostly
college
college.
stuff, and that's
But
pretty
you-
much
but
it.
you have- But you have, isn't there some kind of skating that's professional?
I say us three go to this bar and pick it out front because there's no men's sports on the TV.
Oh no. I'm not gonna do that basically because I don't care and that would draw attention to the place.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true. That's true. You don't want
Okay.
to do it.
This place is only gonna survive on two things, okay? Either it's gonna be a total lesbian bar,
Yeah,
It
that's
has
all
to
who's
be.
gonna go there.
yeah.
Right.
Or any hot chick who is into women's sports, that's when the guys will start showing up.
Yeah.
But that's your choices.
Yeah,
That's your fan base going in.
Yeah, there can't be
I
a
mean-
guy can take the girl that he's dating or going with there if she's
Try to impress her. Take her to
no,
an.
if she's
Oh, yeah.
plays that sport.
Yeah.
You know, if she plays softball, then the boyfriend's going to take her there to watch softball
Yeah.
on TV. Yeah,
I'm
that's
telling
the
you right
only way.
now, if there's a chance that I'm going to get lucky that night, I'm taking my girl wherever she wants to go.
Oh, by the way, it's the way they spell sports bra. It's sports bra, BRA. Just to let you know, that's the name of the play. Look at Bob's face.
Well, I'm thinking right now, I'm probably a middle B cup, so I'd be allowed in
Yeah,
anyway.
it's the sports bar, the sports bra. So SPORTSBRA. Good, I like it. I mean, it's a neat idea. It's a good little. It's a start. It's a start, and I think maybe in a way, kind of sending a message to other women out there that maybe they should start paying attention to some women's sports. You know, don't be so, hooked, getting ready to please your man and watch football or spend the time to learn the game. That's the thing. I think a lot of women that I grew up with the boys watching baseball at Belpassy and watching these same, because the kids played with a lot of the same people as they were growing up. So I watched a lot of women really start to learn and understand the game of baseball year after year after year to where we were at, by the time the boys are at the end of their career out there at Belpassy, these women knew everything because they went and they spent the time. They understood the game. They understood why, to walk this guy with this hitter up, and they understood all that stuff. So, I mean,
But
maybe
did they go? Yeah, did they go because their sons were playing, or did they go just to watch and?
They did
and
to
learn the
go watch
sport?
their boys, and they ended up loving the game and learning and understanding the game and actually watching the games at home. But maybe I don't know. I mean, I wish them luck. I hate seeing just a restaurant alone in today's world is the worst idea you could ever do. to start a business as a restaurant. It has always been the worst idea you could ever do. But now you add the fact that you're not going to show, you're going to have a sports bar, I can't stop saying it, a sports bar and not have any men's sports on there. I don't know. Maybe they're going to give them their own room, Bob, in the back. There'll be like a curtain there. There'll be one little 32-inch TV back there with like a baseball game.
Isn't that discrimination?
Yeah, it is. You go and
check in.
Yeah, it's in the back. You got the little 30. You got all these 70-inch TVs, and they got this little section in the far back corner with this drape, and it's just a fucking 32-inch tube TV, one of the old TVs.
Okay, now seriously, they didn't think this thing through. Okay, so what are you gonna do on Sundays in fall when it's pro football? And there's no games on, nobody's going to come. Yeah. Even women love pro football.
Yeah.
All right? Even women go to sports bars to watch the games.
Yeah, maybe they'll make an exception for NFL games.
What are you going to do for like 3 months when football season's going good?
Yeah.
They can start watching
the WNBA.
Yeah. Can't they start watching a women's arena football where they play in their
lingerie?
Yeah.
These chicks are tough, dude. You ever watch one of those games on YouTube?
I watched the couple.
The lingerie league. Some of those chicks are buff, man. Yeah. God damn.
So they can show that up there, and that might attract a lot of women.
They say they got a lot of female. I'll be there. Yeah, they say they got a lot of female pictures up on a wall, autographed by all these female athletes throughout the country. Yeah, is up on a wall. I mean, that's enough for me to go in there.
I guarantee you, these women didn't autograph them.
Yeah,
somebody just signed it and said, "Yeah, it's autographed by such and such."
Actually, after looking at the inside of this place, I don't think I'd go in there even if it was just a regular bar. I don't know.
What, a bunch of Pinocchios?
Yeah, no. So, guys, before we got a little bit of time here, let's talk about. I thought this was kind of cool. I don't know if we ever did this before, but this weekend was Major League Baseball opening day. Go Giants, right, Andre? Let's give it to them. Go Giants.
2-3.
Go
2-1.
Yeah, go Giants.
And didn't the Dodgers just lose yesterday?
Oh, here we go. It's already started, people.
It's the first 3 games of the season.
Let's take it easy, guy. That's why I saved. Right. This is why I saved baseball for the end.
It's not about how you start; it's how you finish.
Exactly.
And if I recall, last year they finished a little bit better than your guys.
Yeah, but didn't you notice though again how the referee?
Oh no! All right, let's get into it. All right. I thought this would be fun. I thought this would be fun for you two guys.
All right, let me go put my Rams hat on. Then
we're gonna burn that Georgia Bulldogs sweatshirt of yours when before the season gets too far into it.
You know what? I gotta admit something. It didn't work last week. I had after the show, I put the sweatshirt on, and Carolina lost after they had a 15-point halftime.
Yeah, come on. We all knew that Duke was going to beat them. We all knew that was going to happen.
They got cold, man. They got cold in the second half.
Yeah.
Carolina.
So, Mr. Bob
They
Sharp.
lost to Kansas in the national championship.
Yeah. I thought it'd be fun. We could throw out a bunch of stats and numbers for baseball opening day and records that are going right now. But it is, the first couple days of the season. So I thought, how about, an opportunity to talk about that first baseball game you attended? Do you remember that first baseball game you attended?
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Look at Andre. He puts his head down and goes, oh, shit. All right, Bob, hit us with that story.
1975, we were living in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and I had about worn my dad out about taking me to go see a Dodger game. So finally, we loaded up the station wagon with us and the neighbors. We drive up to Old Busch Stadium. I believe the third deck tickets were $3 a piece.
$3, fuck.
So we sat at the third deck of Old Busch Stadium. And the guys looked like little ants on the field. That's how high up we were.
Yeah.
But, it really didn't matter where I sat.
Yeah.
Even though St. Louis Cardinals won that night, it really didn't matter where I sat because this was my first chance of watching the LA Dodgers live.
Yeah.
And I can remember the Dodgers, they had they had Say, Russell, Lopes, Garvey. Steve Yeager was playing catcher. Bert Hooten was on the mound. Outfield was Joe Ferguson, Jimmy Wynn. I think Buckner just got traded to the Cubs, but Cardinals had Lou Brock, Reggie Smith, Ted Simmons. I mean, they were loaded. The Cardinals were loaded.
Yeah.
Is it Reggie? Is it Jerry Smith or Ozzie Smith?
Ozzie Smith wasn't in the league yet.
Yeah.
This was in 75.
70.
Ozzie Smith didn't get into the league like the late 70s, and he started with the Padres because they traded like Gary Templeton to the Padres for Ozzie Smith. But
Okay.
I could just remember, man, sitting in the third deck. You know,
With dad. That's
we
awesome.
wore like nice clothes because we didn't know how to dress for a baseball game.
Yeah.
You know, I had the button-up collared shirt going on, and you know, because we didn't know. I'd never been.
Yeah, no, that's I mean, and
then,
it's
and then
great
the
that
next year we went back and saw the Dodgers and Cardinals again. We got better seats in the second deck this time.
Yeah.
But my mother, big Cincinnati Reds fan, 1976, heard my dad take off, and me and my brother sitting there. They come back like a half hour later. Where you guys been? She goes, well, I went and bought some tickets for when Cincinnati shows up.
Yeah.
I go, okay. It was in September. I go, where are we sitting? She goes, I don't know where you're sitting, but I'm sitting 10 rows up off third base line on the bottom seats there, because my mom was in love with Pete Rose and he was playing third base.
Pete Rose.
My mom had to get as close to the field as she could
She had to
see Pete Rose.
See that luscious hair of his that he had back then.
But
he did have good hair.
He did.
My first game in Candlestick was, I believe it was June 28th, 1980. We drove over there just
Bob's memory, dude. Fuck.
There was no wind that night. There was no wind, and Jerry Royce threw an 8-0 no-hitter against the Giants.
And then they put in a pinch hitter for a pitcher for him, and the Giants ended up winning 3-2.
Nope, they lost. It was 8-0. It was 8-0. That was Ross Strickland, by the way. But no, I remember Billy North made the first out on a slow roller, Ron Say, and Billy North struck out to end the game.
Yeah.
Because Bill Russell threw wild to Steve Garvey in the first inning, and Jack Clark got on first base with an error.
Yeah. You're lucky. I mean, you got to enjoy that first time with your dad. I mean, my dad, and probably not. I remember Andre's dad too, but he probably wasn't a big baseball fan.
Forget about that. All he wanted to do was drink a bottle of wine.
Yeah. My dad could care less what sports are on. Thank God we had Uncle Pino, because Uncle Pino was and Aunt Carol too. I mean, it was kind of a big deal for them to take us to a baseball game and get to see the Phillies play. And I remember, I can't tell you who they were playing. I can't remember that. For the life of me, I sit here. I don't have the memory like Bob Sharp does. I can't tell you if it was a windy day or a sunny day in South Philly. I can't. All I remember is I learned the F word. I learned the F word for the first time.
Faster.
That guy's a fucking that guy is a fucking bum. That's what was said, and me wanting to know what the hell the word "fuck" means. So I was like, don't say that. Don't say that word. Don't say that word. But yeah, it was Mike Schmidt. You were a fucking bum, and I was just, I was like, what the hell? So I got to learn that word. Yeah, I learned that word real quick, and. But yeah, I can't remember a lot of that. But I remembered I remember being there, and I remember taking the subway to get there, and getting in there, and just I think it's the first time in my life where I felt what is it called, anxiety, because I was just blown away by how many people were all around me. As a young kid, 10 years old, 11, I think 10 or 11. Walking through that stadium and seeing, 80,000 people, 60,000 people all around you, and having that moment like, fuck, if I turn right and Uncle Pino turns left, he may never find me again. It's just that feeling, you know what I mean? So, Andre, you were much older. Yeah. How old were you? Do you remember that first game? You remember if it was raining? Was it sunny? Was it in the mid-70s?
I did know that, like I said, we were I went with my friends.
You were with your buddies.
Because I couldn't, obviously my dad's not going to take me, and my brother John's not, and neither is my brother Joe. You forget about those guys. So I just went with my friends, and all I can remember really is just sitting there watching the game and drinking a lot of Jack Daniels and Black Velvet that we bring in, and around the seventh inning, the wind started swirling up, and out there in the outfield, and next thing you know, you see the pigeons flying over. Not the pigeons, the
seagulls.
Seagulls flying over.
Fucking seagulls at Candlestick were horrible.
They always knew, no matter what, at a certain time, they would always start to
their descent into the stadium, dude. Those things are.
So I really, and I don't know. I'll be honest with you. Obviously, it was the Giants.
Yeah.
It could have been the Dodgers because, all we did was with the games beat the Dodgers, beat LA.
Those are the games that you wanted to be at. Yeah.
And so it was probably, and I do remember that little shithead, the Penguin, always being a ball buster for the Giants and getting that clutch hit when he's not supposed to.
Yeah.
So that's, but I mean, I can't remember what day it was, what month it was.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was like in the middle 60s to.
He's throwing out temps now. He's throwing out the temps.
Well, because around the middle 60s, I was.
Hey, if it's in San Francisco, you're pretty good just saying it was the mid 60s. That's like the temperature all the time. It's mid 60s, little cloudy.
No, not the temperature. The midst, like 1965, 1966.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not the temperature, but we did get.
That's when you guys were running the streets. That's when the Sala boys owned the block.
We got high as a kite, and the liquid gold had to bring you down a little.
Yeah. I wish I had that memory Mr. Sharp has. Mr. Sharp has an amazing memory. He's a Rolodex of names, dates, temperatures, women's 80s tennis players, Brazilian beach volleyball players' names, what schools they went to, when they lost their virginity.
Yeah.
Bob knows all that stuff. Yeah, all that stuff.
I just heard something today about the.
All right, Andre. I know you did this. I think this will be fun for our executive producer, Maureen. What was the first game you took Maureen to?
Oh man, do you want me to tell you that?
Yeah, come on. I mean,
what do you want Maureen to tell you?
No, we want to hear it from your heart. I mean, did you take her to a Giants game or did you take her to a Niners game?
It was a 49er game.
Ah, that's how you tricked her, huh?
Yeah. No, it was a 49er game. Please don't tell me who they played.
I bet you Maureen could tell you who they played.
You could probably tell. All I know is that we went to the game and we brought this little hibachi, and we tailgated right there, and cooked some hamburgers or some steaks, whatever it was. But that's what we did, and that was it. But it was a Niner game though. It wasn't a Giants.
Yeah.
And it's funny because she was more into baseball than she was in football.
For football,
because she played softball for her school.
Oh yeah, see that makes a difference. Yeah.
So she was more into the baseball.
Yeah.
And I don't even know to be honest, I do not know. Well, no, I shouldn't say that because we have gone when we lived in San Ramon. We did go to like a Italian night, a candlestick.
Yeah.
Not a candlestick at the new stadium.
The new one. Yeah. I like that they're doing that in baseball. AT&T. I don't know when they started that. Yeah. When did they start that? It's not that old, right? Yeah, the Heritage Nights, all the teams are doing it now.
I'm going to say it's probably within 10 years.
Yeah.
I would think.
I like that they're doing that. I think it brings in, it gives an opportunity for other heritages to have their one night and come to a game, All they have to do is just make.
That's not true. Because there is no Okie night in America.
There is no Okie night. There should be. There should be redneck night.
No.
Redneck
Bob's
night.
Wrong. There is one, but you got to go to Georgia.
Georgia.
Oh, you got to go to.
Usually our Okie nights are like are like the mud bogs and the monster truck rallies.
All right,
And
it's
the
every
NASCAR
Sunday
races.
when NASCAR starts.
That's every
your
Sunday.
That's your day.
Oh, you got to go to Alabama. Go
Yeah,
see a
Alabama,
Heritage
Georgia,
Night.
Mississippi,
yeah.
South
Yeah,
Carolina, North Carolina.
that's where you got to go.
I can see that now. Fucking baseball. June 27th is Redneck Night. Come join us.
Redneck night. Yeehaw!
Come join us.
Everybody gets a
No, you
free.
wanna see the rednecks come out to the ballpark? They don't do it anymore. But you put out dollar beer night, we're all there.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, you throw out yeah. That's
So I
like at
was
the
just thinking of
McHenry
something.
Bowl when they do 50
Yeah.
25
Dude,
cent
we're
beers.
bringing our first cousin fiancés out for dollar beer night.
Yeah.
I was thinking of something
McHenry
else.
when McHenry Bowl does 25-cent beers. That's when everybody shows up at the bowling alley.
I can remember going to John Thurman Field for the Modesto A's
Yeah.
and getting lit on $5 because they had 50-cent beer night.
Yeah, 50-cent
Oh,
beer night,
gee.
man. 50-cent beer night. Well,
I
guys,
was thinking,
we're
I was
done.
thinking if you go to a redneck night, every free guy over 18 gets a little can of Skulls.
Copenhagen.
Yeah, I could see the menu now: possum burger, skunk burger, roadkill possum.
This is roadkill squirrel.
Hey, in the state of California, you can eat roadkill now.
There you
So
go.
Oh God.
you can pick it up now and take it home with you.
Jesus.
We're done, guys. Unless you got something else you want to throw in there, we can keep going, and I'll record and cut whatever I have to. If there's anything else you guys
No,
want.
I'm good right now. My dog's got to go outside.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Andre, you got anything else?
No, I thought I heard something about where in baseball, it was something about the Giants, but because they were talking about Brandon Belt, I believe, that all of a sudden that he's doing really good, and he's just not a good ball player. Like the last 3 or 4 years, everybody was
Yeah,
got to trade him, get rid of him, but now he's starting to do good, but he's just not playing good, but he's also become a funny man where he cracks jokes, he tells stories. He's like the
is he the one that came in on the boat?
Brandon Belt.
I don't know, but he just got a base hit not too long ago in the
Yeah,
first
he
inning.
did. No, didn't opening day they had one of the Giants players come in on a boat.
Don't know.
Oh,
Did you
I
see
do not
that
know that.
on the
Not a
stadium?
Giants fan.
It came in on one of those hydro boats. It's into the
Really?
Yeah,
stadium.
not
Yeah.
a Giants fan.
Yeah, I know you're not. You Dodger
Now,
blue.
Yeah,
see,
I don't know.
tonight's game is like I'm kind of perplexed because I want to see both teams lose, but it's not possible
Yeah,
because the
No.
Giants are playing the Padres.
yeah.
Tonight's game, what Bob wants to do is compare this game to a women's sport, and he doesn't know if he should watch it or not.
Should I watch
There you go.
it? Should I watch it? I don't
Yeah.
know.
What should I do?
Maybe I'll go to the sports bra bar and go watch some Brazilian
No.
beach volleyball.
Actually, I'm gonna watch it because there's not much else on TV.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't care who's playing. I just like to watch a good baseball game.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's why I
They
have
were
it.
saying something about the Padres because last year the Padres almost had a playoff berth clinched.
Yeah.
And then they
Oh yeah,
had
they
that.
played it at the end. Yeah.
They had the meltdown and towards the end of the
right.
season where they only won like 12 out of 33. And then we're talking, and then they had the big blowout in the dugout.
Yeah.
And then the guy, whoever was one of the commentators, was saying that the big blow to the to the Padres right now is that Bettis.
Yeah,
I think it's his name,
Tatis.
Bettis.
Yeah.
He heard
Tatis.
it. He sprained his ankle or his foot.
He's out for 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a big blow. Who's going to replace
It is.
a guy that scores 40, that gives you 45 home runs a year?
Yeah.
Well, that's fine with me. Maybe that ought to happen to Freeman and a couple of the other guys.
Yeah.
Maybe we could arrange that. Huh?
I think everybody
Hey,
just keep an eye on the
Andre,
Rockies. To be honest with you.
We've got something that the Giants don't have. See, we have players in the farm system that can step up and fill in and still be good.
Well, then why don't they do that instead of getting all these free agents? Right?
You guys have a nice night. I
All
gotta let my
right,
dog
guys.
out.
Well, we're gonna
All right,
end the
see you
show.
later.
We'll see everybody next Monday. And again, thank you, Bob and Andre, and we'll talk to you guys later.
All right.